Staying open during COVID. The COVID times are times that I definitely don't ever want to go back to. But for this transformation Tuesday, I think talking about how we came out on the other side of that is definitely an important story to tell. I was very pregnant at the time. I didn't really know what to expect. I think we were all living in this world of uncertainty and not knowing what to do. And I think it was a scary time for everyone. We were introduced to the mask, which I am so happy I never have to wear, hopefully ever again. I had to think about, how do I keep our employees safe? How do we be mindful of what's happening? We have so many questions that are being asked. There's so much doubt in everybody's mind about, like, is this real? Is this really affecting us? But I chose to keep City Hall open. And I was criticized a lot for that. I chose to keep it open because I knew that we had jobs to do. People were relying on government to function when everything else, around the world was shut down. People were looking to us. We still had services that we had to provide. We were the front line. We still had to be out there responding to 911 calls. The police department was busier than ever. The fire department still had to respond. Our public works department still had a job to do. We had to stay open. We couldn't close our doors. Even people coming in, they still have to pay their taxes. They still have to get permits. We still needed to operate City Hall. I felt very strongly that we could not close up shop. And no, we're not an online office here. You can't run a government, through a computer. You need face-to-face interactions. I felt very, very strongly about that. At the end of the day, I do not regret that decision, not one bit. I never closed the doors to City Hall, not one time. We put in safety measures and we put in safety precautions so that the people that worked here were safe. But I never sent people home. And you know what? I never had a massive outbreak. We didn't have anybody succumb to any COVID illness. We still were out there delivering the services for the city of New Britain that people expected. They looked to their government to still be operating. People were looking for some sense of normalcy. And I feel after all was said and done that coming into work every day was some sense of normalcy in uncertain times. For me, again, twofold, having a kid, but yet still having to run the city at the same time. When you look back on it, it was the right choice to make for the right reasons. And I think our community and our city and our employee, our workforce was better off for it. You look at situations now where people are still working from home. They're still not back in the office because, like, the state government still can't figure out how to get people out of their basements and back to work. The impact that we see on that goes much further, than somebody having the benefit of working from home when they really should be working and being accountable to the people who pay their salaries. It was tough times, tough decisions. It was a very stressful time, but we led with courage. We led with no fear, and we led for the betterment of the people that we served.